Hello and welcome back to another video. And in today's video, we are going to be drawing a fancy fish. And now you may ask, what is a fancy fish? It's a fish that's fancy, duh. It's going to be a fish with a top hat, and it's going to have a cane and a monocle. Now, you may ask, well, what type of fish are you going to draw? It's literally called a fancy fish. No, it's called a fancy guppy, but that's close enough to fancy fish. We're going to be drawing a fancy guppy, and we are going to give him a monocle and a top hat. And a cane. I didn't know if I said a cane, but he's also getting a cane. Now, I don't fully know what one of these fish looks like, but you know, it's fine. We can just draw and pretend like we know what we're doing. They got little fancy bits. They were like the fanciest fish that I could see. I looked up fancy fish. I found this. It was the fanciest looking fish I could find. This is what we're drawing. Because I was told to draw a fancy fish. So we're drawing a fancy fish. The fish is going to look so fancy and whimsical. Yes, it's going to look whimsical. A whimsically fancy fish. Alright. You may say, what the f*** are you doing right now? Well, this is the big old tail fin thingy, which is part of the reason why I thought this fish looked very fancy, is because of its giant f***ing tail fin. Its tail fin thingy is very big and looks fancy. It has a very complicated pattern. There's a lot of them, so obviously there's many different patterns, but it looked like it had a very complicated pattern, and I thought it looked fancy. Its pattern, well, the pattern that I'm going to try to go for kind of reminds me of a monarch butterfly, if you know what those look like. I have actually drawn a monarch butterfly before, and that's why I also kind of know I'm not going to have too much fun drawing that pattern, because it's very repetitive. But, you know, that's fine. If you can't tell, I am struggling a little bit to get the base of this fish down, because I really don't know what it, fully looks like. I mean, I could have, paid attention to what the fish looks like, but, that's too much work. Why would I do that when I could just not know what I'm doing for the entire video, and just be like, yeah, this looks like fish enough. Oh, my lead's broken. This looks fish enough. I think it looking fish enough is fish enough for me. Now, it's going to need a monocle, and you may wonder, how the hell is a fish going to wear a monocle? I don't have an answer for you. We're going to figure that out later. How does a fish wear a top hat, you may ask? If you're asking that, I think you're a little stupid, but you know what? It goes on its head. Duh. The top hat goes on the fish's head, and it will look roughly like this. It's actually going to go out on the top knot, like that. It's going to look roughly like this. And now, he also needs the other things, like a cane. Now, how is he going to have a cane? He's got flippers, whatever they're called. I don't know, he's going to... His little flippers are going to be wrapped around the cane. Now, I did originally think of giving him a cane with a pearl on it, because, you know, fish, water, pearl. But then I decided I was just going to give him a normal cane. Just I'll detail it a little bit more when I'm actually adding it, but it's just gonna be a little normal cane, mainly because you just didn't want to have to look for pictures of canes. I could have also made it one of these types of canes, like a candy cane, but I didn't think about that until right now. I don't know why I immediately thought of one of these weird flat ones. It doesn't matter. I think I made that's far back enough. His little fins, if they're wrapping... Okay, this pencil being broken is kind of annoying. If they're wrapping around here, they should actually stop a little bit. And okay, you know what? Cheddar, I'm ditching you for a little bit. I'm using lime. I'm gonna go like this. And now, where's the fish's gills? Fish have gills, right? Well, the gills on this fish are, well, right here. That is why there's a little bit of a difference right here and that, because of the gills of the fish. And there's also going to be a pattern change right here, so I'm just going to mark that, because that's where I want it to be. And there's a color change there, but I'm not coloring this. I could color this. I'm not going to color this. That would be too much work. Alright, it needs a monocle. How are we going to give this little lad, this little chap here, a monocle? Well, I was thinking, because if you think about monocles, and monocle is, whatever, it's, I actually have no idea what a monocle looks like, but it looks like this, and then it's like, you put it on your eye, and then it's like connected to your suit, right? Is that what, I think they're like connected to your suit. So, but like, he doesn't have a suit on, so I was thinking, what if I add his monocle, and then I connect it to his hat instead, because that would be better. But what if I connected it to a bow tie, and then gave him a bow tie? Because that would make him more fancy. But how do you draw a bow tie in this perspective? Well, I have no fucking clue. So we're probably going to go with the top hat one. Although I do like the bow tie method. I do like the bow tie idea. That is all the stuff I was supposed to add to him, right? Cane, monocle, top hat, fancy fish. Yep, probably. I don't know. I feel like this whole video has been me rambling and I can't recall a single thing I've said or a single thing I've done. I don't even know how we've gotten here. How long's it been? It feels like it's been 7 minutes. I feel like I've been talking for like 2 minutes. Gotta erase it all. Erase all the sketch. Erase it all, erase it all. It's not even that erased. But it doesn't matter, cause I don't think it shows up very well on camera. Cause this new sketchbook, for some reason, doesn't show up that well on camera. I don't know why, I'll probably fix it some other time. Draw a top hat for the lad. He's just a little fancy chap. I keep switching between calling him a chap and a lad, and that's because I keep wanting to call him a chap, but then I forget and call him a little lad. Because I'm used to calling things little lads, because of all my whimsical little lads. He is not a member of the whimsical little lads. He is merely just a fancy fish. He is a fish you may find in the ocean. Trust me, I've been there. I've talked to this fish. I'm actually drawing a picture of a fish that I talked to. His name is Ted. He's a very distinguished chap. The fish he's on is pretty all right. He's just a fish, but the Ted is pretty nice. And yes, I was talking about the top hat, not the fish. Alright, well, apparently I gave him a little smile, but you know what? That's fine. He can be a happy little distinguished chap. Give him a little lips like, I'm very... Well, that just looks not like what I was trying to do. I think this is the first time I'm actually using this eraser. Little pink eraser. From Cheddar. I know his lead's gone now. That's fine. I'm sure I'll find it on the carpet when I step on it. Because I'm sure that's how I'll find it. Alrighty. I didn't plan this very well, did I? Hold on. I want to actually erase all that, because I want to make it better. I want to follow this line. Right. There we go. That's close enough, right? Yeah, I think it's close enough. Now we could draw a little cane, which, yet again, I still honestly don't know what canes look like. This is kind of just a guess. I don't know where this cane comes from, just my brain. This was just what I thought of when I was thinking of canes for some reason. Alright, there's that. We'll color it in a little bit. And then we'll go like this. And he is grabbing the cane with his little flippies. Now where's my itty bitty eraser? Because we do need to erase those lines in between. The little tweeny lines. Yes, he has a hold of the cane. Why, I don't know, because he's a distinguished little chap. But now it is time for me to add the detail. The detail that I don't want to add, because it's going to take so long, but it's fine. It'll make it look like a fish. You know what I'm actually going to quickly do before I add this detail? Take Big Boy. He's looking worse than he used to. And we're going to erase all of this pretty much completely. Because then, we just wipe that right onto the carpet, you know. That's fine. Because then, it's like all gone. And it's like all fresh, clean slate. Nothing's there. Now, we have to decide how we're gonna want to do this. Kind of looks like speed lines. That's not what I'm trying to do. I think I want to connect them a little bit more. Let's go ahead and get the body in here. And then let's start on his tail, actually. Wasn't me. Right, so we actually should get his body in here, lined out on where it's going to be. That looks weird. I mean, that's how it looks. That's how the fish looks, but I mean, that fish just looks weird in general, though. Alrighty, back to doing this. This voice, apparently. I don't even know when I started it, but you know, whatever. I've been doing it, I think, probably. So we're going to continue doing this voice, because why not? It's not like I'm doing anything else besides drawing. You can do some voices. Alrighty. What the hell am I even doing? I have no clue. I'm drawing a fish, but I don't know what this fish even looks like. What even is it? It's a guppy. What is a guppy? I know bubble guppies, but I don't know anything else. What the hell is a guppy? Probably a fish. Considering you're drawing it, it's a fish. What do you mean, what is it? It's a fish. Duh. I'm going insane from drawing a fish and I haven't even really started yet. I'm like trying to figure out how I want to approach this. It may seem like I'm procrastinating, and that's because I am. But I also genuinely have no idea how I actually want to approach this. Because, like, this is its shape. I'll go ahead and get the shape down again. I know you just erased it. Why are you getting it down again? This is the shape. How are we going to turn this into... It's like little feathers. Like, but not feathers. It's just a bunch of fuzz, basically. Fuzz is what it is. But if I just draw it like this, then it's going to look wrong. Because there's not... How am I going to do this? What is it? Is it a bunch of little tiny fibers? Is that what their tail is? Or is that just how the ends? I don't know. I don't think it's a bunch of tiny fibers, because I feel like that wouldn't make sense for a tail, right? Like, alright, hold on. Let's go ahead and try and break it up into where we're gonna want some little gaps to be. And then we'll try and add a little bit of detail. I don't know. Try and just do some scribbles and pretend like you know what you're doing. Alright, hold on. Let me try something completely different than what I'm currently doing at this moment. Da-na-na, erase it all. Pretend like it never existed. Da-na-na, get rid of that part because it kind of still stayed. Alright, So we're going to try something completely different than what we were originally doing. And that is make little kind of like anime hair is what I always think of when I do little spikes like this. Kind of like anime hair. Little breaks. Alright. There we go. This is looking a little better. Yeah, I think this is definitely better than what I was originally going to do, which is try to capture it like the little fibers that it had. Because this is about as close as I'm probably going to get it to actually being those little fibers. Which if I were to want to like ink this with the little, with my tiny linies, which I haven't used in quite a while, I don't think I'd actually be able to ink it. But there's the little fish thingy. I think it looks relatively good, honestly, for what I was originally doing. Now, what is this one gonna be? Well, it's gonna be kind of like the other one, but just a little different. That's not exactly the shape that I am going for, actually, so we're going to... There we go. That's good enough, right? There we go. That's fine. That's not exactly how it should be, but you know, I think that's fine enough. But now... I'm going to look at how long this has been, and depending on how long this took, I may cut to time-lapse, considering detailing is not going to be a quick job. 17 minutes. You know what? You can hear me add the monocle. What does a fish's eye look like, actually? Fish's eyes are kind of just little black dots, and then a circle. That's what a fish's eye is kind of like. Alright. So we're going to do this, and then we're going to do this, just to color that little line. I kind of do really want to give him a little, top hat now. Also, he should have a mouth. I did just realize I didn't give him a mouth, did I? Hold on, let me go ahead and go like this. Curve that a little bit. There's his little freaky ass mouth. He looks weird as hell now that that's his eye. He looks like he knows something he shouldn't. Alright, there we go. There's his little monocle. And now I'm gonna cut to time lapse because I'm a time lapse coloring the rest of it. Not coloring, detailing the rest of this. Time lapse go. Alrighty. It's only been like 10 minutes. This didn't take as long as I thought it would. I did detail it a little bit differently than I was originally planning on doing it, but I think it turned out pretty good. I mean, let me take it out of direct light so you can see it a little better. But I think that looks pretty good, honestly. Like, if I shadow it a little bit, you can see the detail a little more than in direct light. Maybe I should lower this. But, yeah. I like this. I think it turned out pretty good. Here is the fish and Ted the Top Hat. See you tomorrow.